What is going on, guys? This is Sim with Vengeance, and I am back here with another MLB 15, the show, Chicago Cubs franchise. And today, the Chicago Cubs are on the road again at 34-16, taking on the 28-24 New York Mets. And if you guys are hyped for today's video, make sure you guys drop that like, show your support for the series. And if you guys see something exciting, or if you guys want to point stuff out in the video, by all means, do it in the comment section. Also, follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description. If you guys have any questions about, any of the stuff that I do, or if you guys just want to sit there and have general sports discussions, by all means, I'm all for it. So, we're gonna take a look at some standings here. For some reason though, the Cardinals are at the bottom of the National League, or tied at the bottom, near the bottom of the National League, which is surprising, because they're the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are supposed to be really good, or at least they're supposed to be our top competitor. But anyway, enough about that. So, obviously our team is in a very good spot to start the season. Nearing the halfway point. We have the best record in all baseball. And it still concerns me that we might not even get home field advantage because of the stupid All-Star game. If we even get that far. Because last year, if I'm not mistaken, in our franchise, we had the better record. But guess what we didn't have? Home field advantage. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bring that question up. I think I may have brought it up once before, but I think it's time to bring it up again because, I just want opinions, and then there's always new people coming in and watching this, and it's always nice to get their opinions as well. How do you think the All-Star game should be settled? Do you think it should be for fun, or should it be for, home field advantage in the World Series? Because that actually does play a bigger role than you think. You get the first two games at home, and then obviously you got three in a row. You got a 2-3-2 format. But I do not really think that the 2-3-2 format decided by the All-Star game is a fair advantage. I think it should be like the third option. Just say, you got the Cubs and the Royals who end up both winning 96 games apiece. It should be, first of all, it should be by better record. But then if both teams have the same record, it should be better head-to-head matchups. But just say they didn't face each other head-to-head matchups, or they ended up tying each other in a season set. And those, like, say they faced each other 4 times, and they split it. Then it would go down to who won the All-Star game. It's a trickle-down effect. It's something that should work like that. I feel like that should be fair. But anyway, we're going to get into this game against the Mets. I want your guys' opinions on what I just asked, because, obviously your opinions are great in the comment section, and it kind of creates banter. I like banter in the comment section. So we're going to get into this game here against the Mets here at Citi Field. Obviously, in the real life NLCS Cubs versus Mets, the Mets just destroyed us Cubs. I'm a Cubs fan, so I take it a little bit, to heart personally. Not as hard as I didn't take it in 2003, but nonetheless, it's still pretty hard. But I did take a look at the early power rankings, the very, very early power rankings for 2016, and I liked what I saw, but I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket and say, oh my God, we're going to win the World Series. Not even close. The Cubs are young. The Cubs have money, and they have the potential to possibly get David Price, and they have the potential to possibly grow as a team that is very, very young and very talented. This team right here is something that I think is really special. I think that they could use, a trade or two to possibly, like what I did with Castro. But I think Castro, with his abilities, what he's done for us in the second half of the season and a little bit of the postseason before the Mets meltdown, I think he's earned his right to stay in Chicago. And obviously, we need to figure out a way to get everybody in the zone and get everybody balanced playing time, because all these guys can just, they all have their specific things. Javier Baez, I still think is a project, because he still has an erratic swing. Obviously, he's gotten a little better with it. I mean, he's kind of grown with his swing, and I think that's a good thing for him, because last year, he was just bad. I mean, it was either a gone or it was a strikeout. That's basically Javier Baez in a nutshell. He would tattoo the ball just really hard, you know. But he's gotten better. I like that. That's what, you know, the Cubs prospects have been doing. They just get better. Kyle Schwarber, player of the future. You know, I obviously think that the Cubs have a lot of good pieces. Jorge Soler, obviously another really good piece. So I do have faith in my Cubs. So nothing is lost. We're still going to be good next year. Like I said in the last Cubs franchise, I still think we're going to win 100 games next year. But on to this game here against the Mets. Speaking of the Mets, they have gotten a few hits on Jake Arrieta, but they haven't really gotten anything across yet, which is a good thing, of course, for us. But we haven't gotten a single hit ourselves. But you see right there, the defense coming up big. Javier Baez getting that one up and on to Rizzo for the out. So obviously things are going pretty smooth so far here in the fifth. Nice on a fat pitch. He left that one hanging, and Jorge Soler shows off his power with his huge bomb to left field. And it gives the Cubs the lead. So that's obviously a great monstrous shot by Jorge Soler, showing his Soler power. You know what I'm saying? So gives the Cubs a 1-0 lead. First hit of the game for the Cubs, too. First hit of the game. Breaks up that no-hitter that Nice had going into the fifth inning. And just said, you know what? Fuck that no-hitter. Soler bombs it out, and the no-hitter is shattered. You know, Nice was a tough nut to crack, though. I mean, he had some pretty nasty stuff going in the first 4 innings. So give all the credit in the world to him. He had it going on in the first 4 innings, and then all of a sudden he's starting to have this little mini meltdown where he's giving up 2 hits in a row. Montero gets on second with a double, and you know, now Nice kind of settles down a little bit after a couple of outs. Here's Javier Baez, who in this game is either a tattoo to deep center field and gone, or a swing and a miss strike 3, which is pretty much what happens most of the time anyway, which he swings and misses for strike 3. You see a nice little play right there by Arrieta, throwing that one off his back foot onto Rizzo for the out. So the Cubs are doing really good so far on the field, and not so much on offense. Defensively, the Cubs have been playing really well. Arrieta's getting strikeouts. The defense is making plays, just like this one right here. Yes. Thank you, Kyle Schwarber. Yes, he is playing left. Yes, he has made significant progress out in left field. So I do think that this Cubs team has potential to make him a very good player. So you see Chris Bryant gets on first with a nice solid hit into right center field, and he extends his hitting streak to 9 games. So he's got a little bit of a hot streak going. He's hitting about 321, which is what we expected out of him this year. We expect him to hit 300. And this one right here, I don't even know how to explain this. What happened here was just a simple malfunction of my base running skills. And yeah, you're gonna yell at me in the comment section, saying you're an idiot. What the fuck? You know, why were you doing that? I can honestly just tell you I just derped. And if you guys, yeah, and that's the ultimate price I'm gonna pay for that derp right there. Starlin Castro gets his revenge on the Cubs, saying, "What? This is what you get for trading me," and he hits a solo home run to tie the game. So if you guys don't know what derping is, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Like, you just have one of those moments, and you're just like, what the you just lose all control. Like, you know what you're doing, kind of, in a way, but you're just like, I just derped, and I don't know how to explain it. So that's all I can say. I just derped on that play, to home. So that ultimately cost me, because I could have had second and third with 2 away, and Miguel Montero, who's already had a base hit before, to step up to the plate and possibly make it a 2-0 game. But that's not the case here, as now we're here in the 9th, 1-1 game, and the pitch to Addison Russell's taken to deep center, and this one's gone. So Addison Russell breaks the tie right there. 2-1 Cubs. Addison Russell, man, I like him. He's not a power guy by any stretch of the imagination, but in this game it seems like I hit a lot of home runs with him. I don't know, maybe it's his batting stance. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I just like his batting stance. The way he stays at the plate, it's just perfect for me. And there's always those guys that's like they stand pretty awkward at the plate, so it's like you gotta make adjustments like that, and it's just and it's really hard to get a gauge of how they hit the ball in the game. So especially like with Kyle Schwarber, it's a it's a work in progress for me. So I don't know. It's like in the game against the Brewers, Kyle Schwarber hits one to deep right and out of the park. So I mean, it's either hit or miss with Schwarber. But you see right there, Michael Kadire taking this one deep left, and that one ties the game as Hector Rondon just blows the lead for Jake Arrieta. And man, if you want to talk about a bullpen meltdown, you're about to see one right here, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it's come from the Mets or the Cubs, because both bullpens have kind of screwed up at this point. They've had late inning meltdowns, and you know, bullpens aren't doing their jobs. So you see right here, Javier Baez swinging out of the strike zone to Familia, and that is the inning. So here is the bottom of the 10th. Hector Rondon gives up a big-time hit here, runner on second with nobody out. And I said, you know what, Rondon? You're done. You're going to give up this last hit, and you are done. He didn't pitch many pitches last inning. He pitched like 15 pitches, and I thought he had enough energy to possibly go up there for a second inning. But no. And then Strop only making it worse. He walks that guy, and then a little bunt, which I don't even know what happened there. And now the bases are loaded here with nobody out, and this is pretty much like a cakewalk here for the Mets, as there's nobody covering, you know, the right positions. Anthony Rizzo had a perfect shot to make that play at home, but he decides to go back to first, and the Mets win the game. So that was just a complete meltdown of the Cubs bullpen right there. Pedro Strop and Rondon just blew it for Jake Arrieta. Maybe I should have pitched Arrieta in the 9th. He was pitching really well up to that Starlin Castro home run, but after that, it really didn't look like he got affected by it all that much. So maybe I could have kept Arrieta in there, but he's only pitched 83 innings up to that point. Maybe I should have. But anyway, we will take this L. We lost to the Mets. What a surprise, right? Even in a video game, I can't even beat the Mets. The Cubs just can't beat the Mets. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you're a first-time viewer of myself, hit that subscribe button down below. And until then, my name is Sin, and I'm out. Peace.
Score for our ball game tonight for the victorious New York Mets. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left 4 men on base.